Come in, Ruiz. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to set it up. Carrie, welcome. I'm on an internal mic now. Can y'all hear me? This stuff. I've got a short coming out, so I'm not going to do too much of this. The short is scheduled. These are the mounts I got from Wes. Freaking sweet. This one's Heather's. Gotta make some homes for them. Good. Glad y'all can hear me. Oh, okay. So, Carrie, what you got to do is go to YouTube, and when you're in YouTube, hit that plus button, and it's going to give you an opportunity to make a short, a long form video, or a post. If you choose short, take the video that you did. It's going to be a little video in the corner. You're going to tap that. It's going to take you into the videos that you allow YouTube to access. And then you're going to use that button. You're going to either make a short or you're going to make a post, and then tag me in it, put my name in there. Oh yeah, I'll tell you about the soap in a second, what the story is behind that. I make soap, but there's a special bar of soap in there. It kind of looks funny. I'll explain why that name's in there. Floral stuff's popular right now. Floral scents and perfumes, like all the French perfume makers are doing a lot of floral right now. So what I gotta do here is I gotta figure out how much to take off of these two legs. It's a lot, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do it this way. I might have to guess and check. I do not hate to do it that way, but it might be a guess and check type thing. Welcome everybody. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, so, hang out and drop something in the chat and say hello. We appreciate you being here at Dad's Workshop. I'm Dad's Workshop Calvin. If you haven't checked out the channel, check out some of our videos. In a minute, I might plug my microphone in, but I want to make sure I got battery power for this whole live stream. This one here. Maybe. Just lighting here. Carrie, you are very welcome. I'm so happy that I did. Couldn't have sent it to a nicer person. If you could have fit more in that pack, you would have put more in there too. We appreciate you. So the dilemma is that when it goes on the stringer, it sits on level. To hold it up for a bit, just a little bit. We're gonna get a ballpark at least maybe that way. Everybody likes a ballpark. Makes me hungry. This is the third. That one does push it up a little high, I'm not gonna lie. I think I need to take more off that than the other one. I'm gonna just shave like a bit off the bottom since we got all the time in the world. It's not a time issue. I'm gonna take a little off the bottom and see if it helps this one fit into place better. Just start with that. Looks like this way. I'm gonna say I'm gonna take it down a quarter of an inch. Just take the saw and put it down. It's a half inch. This is really tough because what I need to do is a laser level is what I need. I need a laser level sheet from here to here, and I do not have a laser level. I don't know if there's a way I can kind of simulate that. Scoot things just a bit. Scoot through a bit. Carrie, if you caught what I said about how to post that video, let me know. If you didn't, let me know too, so I can help you. That gap that I'm looking at is like 3/4 of an inch to an inch. That's what I'm seeing. Yep. So we're going to take off a little over a half an inch. Let's say 5/8 of an inch. All right. Off of this post, not this one. This one here. I'm going to take it from the top, I think, man, because the bottom's nice and square, really. Well, no, it's not. Take that back. The bottom's not square at all. It's still square, that bottom. That's what the first thing you should do. Take your time, Terry. This is no rush. The unboxing video I just made, I scheduled it, so it's not even going to show until tomorrow morning. So I don't have a good reference edge here, but I can get a relative idea of what 5/8 is. Terrible cut on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. So my best reference edge on this is going to be inside the 2x4. It's kind of fun to work with 2x4s. Yeah, we got a decent reference edge. Test is to cut this. I gotta cut it straight. It's a good test of handsaw skills. Welcome everybody to Dad's Workshop. We welcome everybody. We love all the new people. The reason I run members on the chat is so my folks can interact and network. We're a lot of crafters and stuff, and they want to talk to each other. So I have to give them a chance without the riffraff. And that's not you. You're my friend, whoever you are out there that's just hanging out in the gallery. You're not riffraff. Come say something positive, and let's talk. Let's talk about anything but yesterday. So. Put this little line in my. I'm not going to saw with speed this time, right? I'm trying to stay on that line, so. You guys know I cut through these things fast, but that doesn't mean accurately, right? So when I tip the saw back like this, it realigns it. Problem is, these saws are funky. When you start bending them, they go the opposite way. Most people who know me know I would already saw through this by now. There's always a belt sander too. Oh, nah, that came out good. I deserve that 100. Yeah, go ahead and open the chat up a little bit since it's only Carrie up in here right now. Carrie, we might go back to members only in a little bit. Let's open the chat up. Spammers beware. Trolls beware. Carrie's always crafting stuff too. I love that. Carrie's in the craft mindset now. I bet Wes is up in here. He's just hanging out. Or other members probably are too. They're just tired. Probably don't work some of them. And as I said earlier, these are going to have to be, I got so much clutter over here. These are going to have to be supported with some sort of diagonal member to make sure that they don't rack, you know, when a kid grabs the rail and they're playing with their other cousins, or whatever they're doing on that bed that they shouldn't be doing. I don't want the rail to fail. The rail can't fail. I'm not going to use a nail, but the rail can't fail. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. I get nervous when I got over 200 people in the room. I don't know if I'm a little nervous. I was doing something. Scare people like it. I gotta speak this phone just a little bit. See, from there, we don't have a big gap. Looks like both of those two sides need to come down maybe 1/4 of an inch. this off right here, so you can't really acknowledge that they're studs, right? And like this, you can't really tell this is a stud. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. So that's my plan. My plan is going to be to remove a quarter of an inch from each of these two, so that this middle section will seep down. See how it's loose in there? Maybe less than. McNanny Man, McNan. So hi. Welcome, McNanny Man, McNan. Yeah, just nothing to it but to do it, guys. Nothing to it but to do it. Robert G, welcome. What are we doing? A bunch of hand cuts today. Little bitty ones. Carried some back. Sorry, needed to wash. Put my brush away. Wash the brush. Yeah, put the brush for the next time, right? I'm gonna start with 1/8, which is 3/16. So we're gonna remove because I think maybe that's all that needs to come off. I'm gonna use a good reference edge here. I think Carrie says she thinks she did it. She's talking about the video. Why is that line so off? This reference edge may not be straight. Cut it may be straight. It's probably more like that actually. Oh, I got a new lip, Carrie. So it's out there. So you doing it, Carrie? Chris Ninic from Romania, welcome. Don't get that many folks from Romania. Yeah, you did it right, Gary. Tears, a little bit dry. Counterintuitive, these things. See, my edge, I might have to just chisel down that side to get it straight because that is not on line anymore. Drop from the other side real quick. Abdullah. Filmy Aesthetic. Welcome, Abdullah. Mike, appreciate you in for a like. Mike, you're good for a like. Been around all day. Nice. Mike's in for a like. Sometimes I gotta remember to mic them a little tight. Just with a little less hair than normal tight. That's me. Just talk speaking of myself. Big blowout on that side over there. Y'all can see it. But on the other side, I had a big tear out. Anyway, said he's in a meeting. That's fine. Look at that tear out from the saw. It's crazy. I'm going to take a chisel and just pare away a little bit of that at the top. It's a little away from the line there. Glad that Carrie got her soap. Carrie just put out short. Wouldn't mind anybody going to check that out. Also, BW, wood turning. Got my mallet. His short is up today. I'm going to be making a short on that. I'm basically stitching his short. Welcome, we love to have you on a daily basis. This is a live stream that you should have stopped on. This is where you should be. You're watching dudes say stuff like, I am a black man, I am a black man. I don't know if that is still on, probably because he's got a million subscribers. We're not going to do things that way here. Wes and I had a great live this morning together. Couldn't ask for a better result. Great conversation. Spanning all range of topics. Carrie said BRB. We got to keep tabs on Carrie. She says that when she doesn't come back. She tells me. The chisel to start hand grain work here is the most challenging for a double chisel, right? So if you have a double chisel, this type of work here is going to be on the end grain, perpendicular, and the toughest work that you do. Well, you got to have the sharp tools all the time. That's like human flatness. That's not bad. I'll take a thought too. still thinking when Carrie comes back and make sure that she nods it. Nothing wrong with taking your time to get that stuff right. For those likes, if you could double tap that screen, and I did 3/16 on that one, so we're gonna do 3/16 on this one. Let me try it out. Remember to take wood off, you know that. Artistic part of this. There's a lot of guessing stuff here. So those two are good. I can say that. Solution was my best cut. Look how straight that is, man. It's maybe the best saw cut I've ever made in my life. And you all got to see it on a decent day. Leadership was. That big thing off because chat. Hey, drop something in here so we can say hi to you. We appreciate all y'all being here. Put a fan on. Smug. Trying to find the right spot for my microphone. Mic check. Carrie's back. Rumpelstiltskin said hi a while ago, Carrie. Sorry about that. Appears that I have gotten myself into a bit of a pickle here. I have to take material off of these two legs, and every time I keep taking material off, I end up with another piece that doesn't fit, and I think that has to do with the precision of these angles here and the curves. And I'm trying to think if there's a way I can figure out whether I'm somehow off on this bench. Does it make a difference? If a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there, does it make a sound? Yes, just nobody hears it. I got a better idea than that. Okay, let me go. Sorry, Rumpelstiltskin. Question was what? Let me see here. Just a query. So I take that you are against using any power tools. Oh, good. It was a statement. That's why I didn't see it as a question. No, I'm not against using any power tools. I have a bandsaw right next to me. I angle grinded this yesterday. I'm not, but today I'm not gonna get the power tools out because this is really small work, and if I keep going to that bandsaw over and over again, it'll never get done. I think if I have to do it by hand, I'm gonna be more careful, if that makes sense. I do use power tools quite a bit, just not, I don't rely on them. I use a lot of hand tools to do all the precision stuff because power tools are unwieldy. They don't like to listen sometimes. Thanks everybody for being here. So I'm just thinking here. And it does look like it's about 1/8 of an inch. So I guess what I'm gonna do is take 1/8 of an inch, or I could cut a piece like this that's 1/8 of an inch longer. That might be a better choice. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. What should I? I don't know, man. I just don't know what to do. I think I would actually get a power tool out here. I'll get my belt sander and belt sand down those two pieces on the top. But I think what I got to do, guys, is I have to cut a new piece for this, I think, and it's got to be precisely that height. Now that I got these two pretty nailed down, I want to make sure they're seated in there. I mean, it's possible that I'm not on a flat surface and that this is just an illusion, but I think I got to make a piece of wood that is approximately the same height, but just a little tiny bit longer. So I got some more Doug fir over here. This is the right kind of wood. This is knotty though. Yeah, I'm not a purist. I have no reason to say that I use only, let's call them acoustic tools. Like just unpowered tools, hand tools. It's just that I don't believe in ever taking a super hard like that, unless you're like we were talking about building within constraints earlier. Unless your idea is to build within a constraint, right? And I do that a little bit. Like I built this bed with a lot of hand tools, and that was part of my constraints. I could have probably gone to power tools a couple times. Now this piece needs to be longer, so I'm thinking, and it's about 1/8 of an inch, so I'm thinking it needs to be about right there. Good, I'm glad the audio is good. It does, because you got hand marks and stuff. Like if you looked at that rail that I just made, Rumpelstiltskin, the rail has all these little, non-sandable chisel marks and stuff from having been worked. I worked that over, you were here, I've worked that over several days to get it to the right, what I thought was the right shape. I love the idea. We'll see if it works in practice, man. It's gonna be tricky. This will make the ladder seem easy, probably. Welcome. I do not know how to read Cyrillic, so welcome to you, if anybody can translate that. Yes, I'm going to cut a new piece, Carrie. I just don't want to I want to take the two pieces and go back and forth between the two if one of them doesn't fit. I feel like trying to adjust that piece over and over again is just going to be a headache. And I've been sawing pretty straight today. So Carrie said, are you just going to make a new piece? And I say, yeah, I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. And now this is going to be the type of wood we got, not here, not here, not here. It's not great wood. So if I have to adjust this piece much, it's going to be tough. I'm going to use the rip side of my saw. I found that works better with this kind of wood. It's going to be a more inaccurate cut though. Look at that thing wobble. That wants to go off. Look where it wants to go off, right next to that knot, right? Let's flip it over and cut from the other side. I'll chisel that down. We'll see if this was worth it. It may just be luck that this thing fits. Oh, that's gonna be way far away from that. All right, we're gonna have to chisel this to get it straight. Let's try it as it is first though. Francisco Feloy said, hi, Francisco. Something tells me, just never heard of such a name, but welcome, Francisco Feloy. Or so you say. This is my new piece, right? I cut it longer, so let's hope that this one works better. Oh, that's not bad. Hold on, what just happened? Did I speak too soon? Did I speak too soon? What the heck just happened? Okay. All right, I have an idea. I have an idea, guys. I think what it is we gotta adjust these mortises a little bit at a time and check it. This one is higher on this side, I think, or higher on this side, I want to take this time to let you know to please check out the other videos on Dad's Workshop and interact with the video. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And the most important of those is share. We are a community that can only spread. Get an opportunity, you like the content, and you know somebody or you yourself are interested in the content, then please do share. Bad Dragon asked what I'm making. Bad Dragon, this is a bunk bed rail. All right, well, let's do that much and then check it. Yes, I have made a bunk bed without any metal fasteners. This is the last two components are the rail and the stairs. Now, I do use glue on the rail and the stairs, but they are one piece each. So the rail would be one piece with the glue, gluing up, and then the stairs will be one piece. Everything is able to be broken down though, other than those two pieces. So Carrie, let me get to the soap conversation. The one soap that I made, the kind of fruit one, it's got a fruitish type thing. I forget what I called that one. Dune flower. It's got some like salty sea type stuff in it. And then the other one I made for an order that I never filled for June. Oh, almost lost my rail there. For June, it was Pride Month, and there's a candle shop, soap shop in Charlotte, and they wanted some Pride themed soap. And my only issue with that was that I make cold process soap, and my soap, it's very hard to get even colors, so they wanted the rainbow. And to get the rainbow, I had to pour it. I had to prepare all these different dishes of soap and then pour them in. And the problem was they what we call came to trace quick. And I wasn't able to get them in there while they were liquidy. So I was almost not wanting to give that order to her, but it was supposed to be a rainbow. So that's that one. It was made for Pride Month for a shop in Charlotte. I mean, that's really good soap. It had really good smells in it. I was psyched about all of that. But it was merely the factor of how it looked when I finished it. I wasn't happy with it. So I'm glad that we never filled the order. We're still friends with that shopkeeper and we do communicate with them. But yeah, I'm glad she didn't try to sell that. It's perfectly good soap. It's good soap. It just doesn't look great, in my opinion. The other one is the Dune flower soap. That's marketable soap right there. That's good stuff. That may be the closest I've gotten so far. And then I gotta mimic these angles better to get it. See, now it looks like almost every time I adjust a piece, y'all will notice there's like a piece that's wrong, right? So I think this is the factor of the curve. So if you ever see curved timber framing and stuff, give them more respect, because I don't know how they do that stuff. It's gotta be a template or very complicated math. Well, we had the right colors, but we were short on green, mica, a little bit short on green. Yeah, I'm gonna dig these in a little bit. Maybe not this one, but this one probably. I can't see how it's seated. Tell me, chat, is it seated right on the other side? That one looks good. The other ones that are now short. So I think what I got to do is chisel these mortises, dude. This one's not bad either. I got two of them now leaning. This one's real close. Every time I do one though, it seems like another one adjusts. I wonder if this is impossible. Like, I wonder if it's possible with my method. Oh, okay. Trying to make sure it's sitting in there. Sometimes they get stuck on the shoulder. And you can see how this wobbling like this, This is why you have to secure it with braces. There's no way that this will stand as a railing, even with dowels and glued up. It has to be stabilized. Like if your piece doesn't hold itself together when it's dry, it's not likely going to hold itself together when it's put together with joinery or glue. So I got to keep trying to work it. This one all right, that one just went down. This one went up. All right, so this right here, if I take this down another like half an inch just by hand, might be what I have to do. Let me do that before I stop thinking about the right thing. They fall like dominoes if you don't do them right. This is the thickest part of the rail too, so it can take the most cutting. The other parts they're getting a little bit thin where I've chiseled them. I do have a router plane. I do not think it's sharp enough to do this, but this is a job for a router plane for sure. These type of mortises. So definitely watch, and we're glad to have you here. Stay for longer than 20 seconds. Drop a comment, like a video, and then share something with a friend. We're fun to hang out with too. If you say stuff, we do like to joke around with folks, and we have fun here. This is social. This is hardly even work, guys. It's not really here for the work. We're here for the communication and the relationships and the community building. If I learned something, I'll certainly tell y'all. I'm learning something right now, what I can't do. Somebody out there is like, he's doing that completely wrong right now. I could be. Kind of nice for it to teeter on the middle. Gives me a little more balance. That one is kind of tight. I gotta get it all the way in there too. It doesn't sit exactly level there, so we can work that a bit. Let me try something here. Now, if this was a square wooden piece, we could take clamps and hold it together and do our measurements like that. But because of the nature of it being curved, that adds a whole nother element. You can't clamp it like that. Where's my yardstick? Oh, y'all love that. That's bound to happen. Heather, go ahead and put it on members only chat. Rock the members only chat for a minute. Switching over to members only chat, ladies and gentlemen. Consider becoming a member to Dad's Workshop and getting all the information from my trial and error. Make your life more enriched with this woodworking knowledge that I learned by making mistakes. And you just hung out and had fun and were able to do it easily. You know? That, I don't ever want to say it. I don't want to say it's the closest I've gotten, but it may be the closest I've gotten. Oh, okay, so I was missing a whole bunch of chat. Yeah, maybe the router plane wouldn't work. Robert G said with the curves, the router plane wouldn't work right. A rabbet plane, that's probably similar to a router plane. Like a shoulder plane is what you mean, I think. There is a rabbet plane too. Don't want to question anybody's woodworking knowledge. I think you need to attach them and fit them one at a time. Possibly, Carrie. Carrie said, dang it. She said, dang it about. Wes is bunk bed rail. Sorry about that, buddy. Wes Sykes. Skiles, sorry. Robert G said a sliding dovetail would be perfect way to attach those uprights. You're right, a sliding dovetail would be. I did not even consider that. I could have probably made those. Now I can tell you right now, making a sliding dovetail for this type of curvature, that I think you need a calculator for, dude. If it was straight, I think you just run it, you know, it's just simple math. But for the curves that I got on here, the sliding dovetails will be so much harder than what you see me doing right now. Because these are just sliding, what we call these are like sliding dados, basically, is what they are. Butt joints, essentially, with once the dowels get in there. This is why I want to get I'm going to build a steam bender next, because I can just bend the wood to the exact shape I want it and have my other components cut out ahead of time, right? Rather than having to deal with headaches along the way. Yeah, it's a dado. If it was a sliding dovetail and I didn't get these measurements right, I will cut. And imagine hand cutting those lengthwise. You got to be precise. If I'm using the tools I'm using right now, like the handsaw and then chisels, those sliding dovetails would be extremely difficult, more difficult than this. But it's a solid idea. No question, that would be the application that somebody with a CNC router would do. Oh, I want sliding dovetails. Just enter it into the computer and they'll put through all the math. You know. Nah, this project, I'm not going to say it needs to be done now, but I have to finish this up. It's time to start wrapping it up. So I'm not going to spend forever. Oh, that one is a little better now. Yeah, that's not too bad. I can almost join it like that. I'm going to adjust the mortises a little bit to try to get them to the shape of the tenon really close. But I'm going to take as little material off here as possible. Because like on this one, if I take that angle, you can't see the one on the right. If I take some of that angle off the top, it's going to drop it down more. So maybe what I need to do is take some of the material from right here. I can't take a lot. That one's not too bad. And then this one's kind of not seated. Let's see, man. Yeah, Carrie was comment. Wonder if you attach the 2 ends to the bed and try to fit the middle in. That's kind of what Heather and I were doing off air there for a minute. Either it's like you always are going to have one wobbly right now. So if I try to put it up there, they're going to fall between the rungs of the bed. That's what's going to happen right now if I do that. And there's going to be little deviations in the height up there. So you're right. It does need to be tested up there. But what I want to do now is I'm going to take a little material out of this front mortise that you can't see at the moment. That one right there. Yes, Bad Dragon asks, am I going to dowel them? Yes, I'm going to dowel them into the rail. Glue that up, probably 2 dowels per leg. And then I'm going to add structural support because this rail, even with dowel joinery in it, I don't think the rail is going to be sturdy. It could be, but I'm an overbuilder, so that's what I'm going to do. There will be dowels sticking out of the bottom when we're finished and holes in the frame so they can just sit down in there. All right, I'm gonna do one more thing here, and that's take a little of this material out of this side, and then we'll try to refit it. That was close. I have this theory that if I take a little material from this one mortise over here, that it will fit a little better. Oh, I got this really, really, really sharp chisel. I did a really good job on this one here. This is no doubt complicated, and I would say borderline over my head, you know. When you start adding curves, people don't know, man. That curve woodwork, they bend wood most of the time, but when they don't, it has to be precise. Like when they do cutting of curves for boat building and stuff, there's no real room. There's no tolerance. There's no room for error. And that's been proved in this project. She says, ha ha ha, I see the end of Longhorn's horn. Ah, it does look like a longhorn, doesn't it? Thanks, Carrie. Carrie said, is ambitious? It is ambitious. I don't usually borderline on this level of ambitious. If like with the timber framing bed, it was a risk. I didn't know if I could do it, but I could, so I was lucky. I had the skills. And I say I was lucky I had the skills. I was lucky that I had the skill level. Like, that might have been a little over my head, but having the time to do it allowed me, you know, to take my time, you know, and figure the math out. That is sitting better. That's much closer to flush, isn't it? Isn't it? Real outdoor living. Shout out person. Real Outdoor Living member, welcome. Uh-oh. Check out Real Outdoor Living's channel, homesteading channel. Started by living in a bus, if I'm correct. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Real Outdoor Living. And then they built a cabin. And those videos are like over a year old, so I'm sure they're living in the cabin now, and the school bus is kind of like an RV. What's happened with the school bus, Real Outdoor Living? Is anyone still living there? I got to scoot this over so I can get the last leg in. Oh, okay. All right. So I was wrong. They have not built the cabin yet. They're working on it. Thanks for that update, man. All right, so Real Outdoor Living, what we're working on here is a banister for the bunk bed. And it is, as Carrie said, a very ambitious project because I got these curves here and they are unwieldy. So maybe some of your log cabin building experience tells you how to build with curves, but I don't build with many curves, man. This is like one of my first experiences trying to actually do joinery with curves involved. One of the timber framing books I read back in the day made it seem like so easy. Like, oh yeah, to work with curved timbers, all you have to do is mimic the curve. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's do that. And no, that's way easier said than done. But this does fit. Holy smokes, guys, it actually is starting to fit. Well, maybe not. Take that back. Yep, I was wrong. Man, justice. I don't know what to say. It stumps me. This one here, now I cut a whole new piece for this. I worked this joint. I'm trying to check off my checklist what I've done and what I can still do. I mean, I could try to still put it together with these little, the tolerance here though, it's not great, I'm gonna tell you. And I don't wanna add any joinery or spend time on stuff that's not gonna work. Maybe that one of them is not seated completely, and that's it. Sometimes I gotta make sure I check it on that. I'll probably check it on the concrete too, like on a flat surface. This workbench is not exactly flush everywhere. Yeah, so Real Outdoor Living's in West Virginia. Yeah, Robert G's in West Virginia too. We got our other member, New Beginnings Woodworks. He's also in West Virginia. So we got a few people from West Virginia out here. Last time I was in West Virginia was in, let's see, my grandmother turned 90 and she turned 94 this year. So July of 2021, I was in Huntington. Oh, Bad Dragon, yeah, that's where I'm from too. I think we had that conversation though. Yeah, Robert G was the shout out for today. Robert G was the wheel spin member for today. So shout out Robert G and shout out Real Outdoor Living. Thanks for popping through too. I'm gonna try to work out some stuff in my head here, give it a few more little tests. And there's probably a way I haven't thought of yet that I can get these tighter. I want them to sit in those mortises, dude. I might even take it down another 3 inches and kind of start over with length and do that. But for now, guys, I'm going to say goodbye, and I appreciate everybody being here today. It was awesome to have an afternoon stream that went so well. Definitely, if it's daytime, Dad's Workshop is on. Shout out to all my members, Bad Dragon, Real Outdoor Living, Carrie, big time friend of the program, Carrie Frasca, Go back to the chat. I want to get everybody. Mike popped in. Who else we got? Peter Clan came in, if that's his real name. Hold on, can I scroll the chat, folks? Yeah, Mike, Carey, Rumpelstiltskin, Heather B, Bad Dragon, Real Outdoor Living, and Robert G. Robert G. So both my shout out recipients are from West Virginia. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. West Virginia is lucky. So Carrie's got a mail call. Carrie received one of my mallets in the mail and some extra stuff. Check out Carrie's, you can go run to that right now. Run to Carrie's mail call. Carrie got her mallet in the mail for me. Become a member. Consider becoming a member. It's $2.99 a month. I love to give things to my members. I've never sold anything on this channel. I've only given things away, a lot of things. So we appreciate everybody here. Please do become a member. Definitely subscribe. Share videos. Share this video. Share any of the shorts. Share Carrie's short. Subscribe to Carrie's channel. I love y'all. I really do appreciate you. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here in Dad's workshop. And we love y'all for that. We love you anyways. You know, despite the events that happen and what I may not have said and all that other stuff, we need to, the only way this world is going to heal itself is if we lead with love, not with that mess. So we're not going to talk about that stuff up in here because we're going to lead with love and we're going to talk about positive things and how we can grow as people. Life is short. Love y'all. Do the next right thing. Bye.